Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Balancing Act. We're so glad you joined us this morning. I'm Julie Moran.
And I'm Olga Villaverde.
Okay, here's an interesting topic, Dead Sea Moringa. I bet a lot of people don't know what that is. It is naturally rich in protein and calcium, as well as many other essential vitamins, minerals, amino acids. But like I did, do you wonder where it comes from?
I don't even know what it is.
Well, you're going to find out this morning, and what it can do for you. We're going to get into all those details.
Love that. Also, I don't know if you know this, but May is Cystic Fibrosis Month. So today, we're going to wrap up our series on CF and EPI, which is exocrine pancreatic insufficiency. We're doing a lot of Health Matters series, and this one's a real good one.
And very, very important information. So stay with us. The Balancing Act starts right now.
It's commonly called CF, or cystic fibrosis, a genetic disease that affects the lungs and digestive system of about 30,000 children and adults in the United States. CF patients often experience extra mucus in the lungs, putting them at risk for life-threatening lung infections. CF can also lead to another condition called EPI, exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, which affects digestive enzymes and their ability to move from the pancreas to the stomach and gut. By the way, May is Cystic Fibrosis Month, intended to raise awareness of this rare genetic disease. Today, in the final of our three-part series on CF and EPI, we are talking with Raquel Durbin, registered dietitian from the Western Carolinas Cystic Fibrosis Center in Charlotte. And later in the segment, we're going to be joined by a very special young lady living and coping with CF her entire life. Good morning, Raquel.
Nice to be here.
Oh, I'm so glad you're here, because this is really a great way to end this segment. And cystic fibrosis, really serious, and many people suffering from it. Let me ask you a question. Help our audience understand what's going on in a patient's body with cystic fibrosis. What happens?
So all people, whether you have cystic fibrosis or not, have a gene that affects the transportation of water and salt in and out of our cells. But patients with cystic fibrosis, there's a genetic mutation that impacts the ability of water and salt to flow in and out of cells. And so it makes their mucus that we all have inside of us a lot stickier, because there's less water in the mucus. And so they're more likely to get sick with the bugs because they're super sticky.
And how would someone know if they have cystic fibrosis? How would they actually know? Is it symptoms? Is there a test?
There's a test. You can do a newborn screening, and every state has the newborn screening test available, where they just prick the patient's heel when they're born, and it tests for several different things, but cystic fibrosis is one of them. As well, the symptoms can be diarrhea. They might be misdiagnosed as asthmatic. So there are symptoms, but there's also the newborn screening to hopefully catch it at birth.
And no doubt it's a very serious disease.
It's very, very serious.
I've also read here that 10 million people carry the defective CF gene. Can male and female mates be screened to see if they carry it, and does it matter if they do?
It's very important that if you know that you have someone in your family that has cystic fibrosis, that you are screened. If you're a carrier for it and your mate is a carrier for it, the recessive allele will carry on, and your child could be born with cystic fibrosis. So it's essential that if it does run in your family, that you be tested. If you have symptoms of it, it's essential that you're tested as well.
What if one parent has it and the other one does not?
Then you would not have a child with cystic fibrosis. Both parents must be carriers for the child to have cystic fibrosis.
Okay, stay right there, because I want to learn more about this, also EPI, and we're going to introduce a wonderful young lady who's been living with cystic fibrosis. So please stick around, because she's had a lot of challenges. She's been coping with this disease, but she's got a great story, so don't go away. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone. We've been talking with Raquel Durbin, a registered dietitian with the Western Carolina Cystic Fibrosis Center in Charlotte. And joining us now is Heather McCoy, who's been coping with CF since infancy. Welcome, Heather.
Thanks for having me.
Are you kidding? Thanks for being here. I want to talk to you about how has life been dealing with CF in your life? I mean, I know you even underwent, I believe, a double lung transplant. Can you talk to me about that?
Living with cystic fibrosis is not easy. I was diagnosed when I was an infant. And so it's kind of been something that I've always known growing up. I didn't know any different from living with cystic fibrosis. You know, some people aren't diagnosed at birth. And so I was taught at a very early age about how to take my medications and do my therapy. And so growing up, it's just been something that was common sense to me. And I've just been with it ever since. You know, I get up in the morning and it's just routine.
Now, Raquel was talking to us about certain situations with the lungs, if you will, how they produce this mucus. How do you cope with that challenge, Heather?
It's all about exercising. After having my transplant, I don't have to do as much therapy as like the vest or anything, but I do still have to clear out mucus, and the main thing for that is just getting up and exercising. And I still do a nebulizer treatment of saline here or there.
And you take some antibiotics as well?
That's correct.
Raquel, let me bring you in now. We've been talking about the lungs, but I also understand that CF can also affect other parts of the body, more specifically the digestive system. Is that correct?
Exactly. The mucus affects all parts of the body. So the digestive system is highly impacted because it impacts the absorption of different nutrients. So when Heather takes her enzymes with the food, it helps her to absorb the nutrients because her pancreas can no longer secrete the enzymes that are necessary to absorb the fat, proteins, and carbohydrates.
And Heather, can you talk to us about your daily life when it comes to, I guess, absorbing the calories that you need and at the end of the day, staying healthy as best you can?
Well, it's definitely a difficult challenge, and with cystic fibrosis, it's hard to gain weight, let alone maintain it. But the key thing that I usually do is, you know, on the days that I'm not as hungry, I just, you know, take a lot of snacks. I look for high-calorie foods and what has a lot of protein. And with my supplemental enzymes, it's able to help, you know, correct that problem I have and ultimately just help me keep my health up because I'm able to maintain my weight.
And as a dietitian, I can only imagine, Raquel, that she's just doing all the right things.
She's doing a fabulous job of being compliant with her enzymes and eating well and keeping a really balanced diet.
For people out there that may be suffering from EPI or cystic fibrosis, or maybe just want to learn more, is there somewhere they can go, they can learn more about this, or maybe if they even have a loved one that could be showing some symptoms of this?
IdentifyEPI.com is a really excellent resource for patients, caregivers, and healthcare providers as well.
I want to end with you because you are an amazing inspiration, I think, in my eyes, in your eyes, and probably everybody's eyes. You're a champion, no doubt. Any last-minute words you'd like to say to anybody out there that may be diagnosed today with CF?
Keep fighting. The disease doesn't have to take your life. I look at cystic fibrosis as I'm going to use this disease to show that it doesn't have to be a bad thing and to be optimistic. I didn't think, or my doctors didn't think, that I would make my 10th birthday, my 16th birthday, and now I'm 21 and I'm almost done with my college career.
What are you going to study?
I'm wanting to be a physician assistant.
Congratulations to
Thank
you.
you.
God bless you. Thank you so much for sharing your story, Heather.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you. You're going to be a very, very good one, too.
Thank you.
This has been our third in a series on EPI-related conditions, a very special segment at that, including CF. We hope you found this cystic fibrosis segment informative. I know I did, and if you'd like to discover more, visit us at thebalancingact.com or share with us anything regarding CF and EPI on Facebook/The Balancing Act fans.
Dead Sea Moringa is naturally rich in protein and calcium, as well as many other essential vitamins and minerals and amino acids. Have you ever wondered what it might do for you and where it comes from? Well, let's welcome back Kurt Landry, CEO of Dead Sea Moringa. Welcome back to the set. So great to have you.
Thank you, Julie. It's great to be back.
You know, it's part 3 of our series, and this series has fascinated me. But I want you to tell me, Kurt, more about where Dead Sea Moringa is grown.
Dead Sea Moringa is grown literally at the Dead Sea, the lowest place on earth in Israel, the most mineral-rich soil in all the world. And the reason this is so important is because we have taken it to a lab, Dead Sea Moringa up against other moringa products. It has more nutrients in it because of the soil.
Wow. I understand that this has been used for thousands of years and it has more than 90 nutrients in it. That sounds like a lot.
It is. Dead Sea Moringa is one of nature's best kept secrets, Julie. It has 90 nutrients, including 12 vitamins and minerals, 46 antioxidants, 18 amino acids, including a high concentration of all 9 essential amino acids. It's a good source of simple leafy green vegetable protein. It's safe, it has no side effects, and Dead Sea Moringa offers those who are allergic to or want to avoid soy products an alternative vegetable protein that is easily absorbed in the body.
Okay, well, I'll just be taking all of this home with me. Just kidding. All our bodies are really able to absorb all this nutrition?
Julie, natural products they can absorb. Synthetics, that's where the problem is. And that's the problem with our society. Too many synthetics. This is pure, natural, and it's even kosher.
So synthetic things are tough on our bodies, but you're saying like a natural product we can just absorb.
We basically can absorb it 100%, and that's why it can curb malnutrition.
What are the benefits? I would imagine there are a lot of benefits, including all these vitamins for malnutrition, but maybe alertness and well-being. I mean, what are some of the additional benefits?
It actually can help your eyes, it can help your digestive system, it can help your strength, literally your energy. It also brings, the biggest thing I notice by taking it, it gives me an ability to concentrate much better than when I'm not taking it. It's a foundational health of feeling healthy and awake and not having to sleep as much.
Wow. Talk to me about the partnership between Trees for the Future and Dead Sea Moringa. I mean, I hear you're just doing some amazingly good work.
Trees for the Future has been planting trees around the world for over 20 years. 93 million plus trees they have planted in over 20 countries. Dead Sea Moringa has partnered with them in order to bring moringa to the hungry and the starving nations of the world. That's why we have a program where you buy 1 bottle of Dead Sea Moringa, get 1 tree.
Wow, I love that. Buy one, get one tree. Better than buy one, get one free.
Yes, but it is a way for us to be able to address the issue of malnutrition in areas that really need the help.
You know, I want to thank you so much for coming back. This has been a fascinating and beautiful series. We have one more part, part 4, you're going to talk about women's health, right?
Yes.
All right, so you don't want to miss that. Want to know more? Log on to thebalancingact.com. You can also follow us on Facebook as well.
We're talking gun safety this morning, and I'm with Dawn Wehunt of Springfield Armory, here to answer a couple of viewer questions we received on Facebook. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks for coming back, because
Thank
you know,
you.
these questions I really love, and one of them is on the top of my list. You ready?
Yes.
Amy from Detroit. Amy, thank you so much for writing. She put here, where is the best place to keep my gun at night so it's safe but still handy? That's awesome.
Well, what I have here is a handgun safe. It is accessible by either a key fob.
Oh.
Handgun's there, ready to roll. This gun, of course, is not loaded, but if it was in your home, you'd want to have it loaded and ready to go, and you just take the gun out. Easy access. If you don't want to use the key fob, you can program it for up to 4 digits in a different code and hit enter on that as well.
You know what I really like about this is one of my biggest concerns is always the children and where to keep a gun. So this
Correct.
really, I mean, it's hands off.
Yes, and if you have it programmed with your code on it, absolutely, they would not be able to get into it.
Very hard, if not impossible. Okay, Laurel from Jupiter. Thank you, Laurel. How often should I clean my gun, and what's the safest place to do so?
I would recommend cleaning your firearm after every use.
Okay.
Definitely follow the manufacturer's instructions, which are listed in the firearms manual. As far as the safest place, probably a garage or a safe work area. And then remember, always treat the firearm as if it's loaded and never point it at anything you don't plan on destroying.
And if the children are home, I would probably add, wait till they leave.
Exactly.
Thank you so much.
You are very
We'll see you
welcome.
again to answer more tips.
Sure.
Appreciate it. And of course, we'd like to hear from you as well. If you have any questions related to the sport of target shooting or gun safety, Facebook us at /The Balancing Act fans. Pose your most pressing questions and we'll choose the best ones in our upcoming show. Until then, of course, you can also go to our website, thebalancingact.com. Let me see that. So much great information on today's show, and be sure to check out that information on our website. It's really easy. Thebalancingact.com. That's thebalancingact.com.
And don't forget about us. We're also on Facebook and Twitter, and we'd love for you to look us up. We'll see you again soon, and remember to always find your balance. So long, everybody.